It's me!
Now here's an interesting one. They're half kid, half gum, and all ninja, the Ninjala Kids, from the hit Nintendo Switch game, Ninjala. Come on, Ninjala! The game that has over 10 million downloads, has a bunch of collaborations, that Ninjala? No one? For a bunch of you who have no idea what Ninjala is a free-to-play Nintendo Switch game developed by Gung Ho, the same company who developed Puzzles and Dragons. And after its initial announcement in 2017, it was finally released in the dreaded year of 2020. Ninjala is a rather unique game in that it's a combat-based battle royale, where you and a total of 8 players get to fight each other and see who comes out on top. And I know to a lot of you that may just sound generic and all, but what really is interesting about the game is not just its gameplay, but its story. It all starts in ancient Japan. Ninjas were everywhere and were the sworn protectors of all of Japan, although this changed when a bunch of ninjas decided to turn rogue and use their powers against the civilians. A lot of ninjas decided to help and fight, but unfortunately, ninjas were eventually banned by everyone in Japan. But all this did was spread ninjas everywhere in the world, including Japan. However, they always remained a secret, either living in the shadows or blending in as regular people. But now the ninja bloodline is slowly fading away, and that leads us to Ninjala, specifically WNA, the World Ninja Association. This is an academy built for younger kids who have the blood of the shinobi, aka a ninja. Although even within WNA itself, there are actually some secrets being kept. A young research group with 3 members, Ron, Baraga, and Burton, are working on something called Ninja Gum, which basically allows you to harness your true inner ninja power. Unfortunately, after it was made, there were 2 side effects. 1, anyone who chews it actually fuses with the gum, being able to make ninja weapons, and 2, if you're an adult and you happen to chew this, well, let's just say it's back to terrible acne days. With the storyline and the general synopsis out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into how these Ninjala Kids would work if they were to ever join Super Smash Bros. So starting off, the Ninjala Kids would be a pretty light character, as you expect since they are both children and of course ninja. They'd have 2 jumps, their second jump being a lot higher than usual, and they would be able to wall jump, just like real ninjas. So with that out of the way, let's go and dive into their costumes. For the Ninjala Kids' default appearance, it'll be the pink-haired adult-turned child, Bareka. The remaining also will have you play as a completely different character. So for the first alt, it'll be the true creator of the Ninja Gum and a big Thomas Edison fan, Burton. Next for the second alt, we have a secret ninja assassin, Ron. For the third alt, it'll be the master hacker with a serious sweet tooth, Jane. And now moving on to the characters who are actually kids, we have Van, the main protagonist of the DLC story mode. For the 5th alt, we have the local street orphan with a passion for dancing, Emma. Then for the 6th alt, it's the kid who loves everything about ninjas, Kapai. And finally, for the 7th alt, we have Lucy, the most annoying character in the entire series. Seriously, her introduction has her concerned that no one will like her because of her ninja powers and that she won't make any friends. And after her parents tell her to be herself, she just ignores everything we knew about her wanting a friend and ends up being a punk. Why? There's no explanation. Anyways, with all that venting out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into the moveset. Now before I continue, I know a lot of you think that Ninjala is a ripoff of Splatoon, but honestly, it's not even close to being a ripoff. Despite their similarities in color and art style, Ninjala is completely its own game. The key difference is that Ninjala is more of a combat battle royale, whereas Splatoon is more of an online shooter. However, despite these differences, the Ninjala Kids will have the same general design philosophy that the Inkling has for its moveset. No, they won't utilize ink for its moveset, but they will use different weapons for all of their attacks. So starting off with the jab, it'll be a 3-hit jab that has the Ninjala Kid use the most recent weapon added to the game, the boxing gloves. It's a simple claw swipe attack that slightly moves the Ninjala Kid forwards. For the side tilt, this will be 3 consecutive hit attacks depending on if you tap the attack button more than once. The weapon of choice will be none other than the iconic weapon, the Ippon Katana. It's not really a katana per se, but whatever. For this attack, the Ninjala Kid will swing the katana like a sword. This move works a little bit like Sora's side tilt, having the strength of the attack change depending on if you hit the attack button more than once. For the down tilt, this will have the Ninjala Kid use the Ippon Katana again, but this time they use it to sweep the opponents off their feet. For the up tilt, this will have the Ninjala Kid use a skateboard and do an upward kickflip. For the Ninjala Kids' forward smash, they'll use a hammer and slam it downwards. This is a very deadly smash attack. So deadly in fact that this will give King Dedede's forward smash a run for his money. Unfortunately, it has a lot of start lag and even more end lag. This is definitely a high risk, high reward sort of move. For the down smash, it'll be the hammer again, but this time the Ninjala Kid spins it twice beneath himself. Despite it spinning, it only launches foes on contact. For the up smash, the Ninjala Kid will swing the hammer directly above himself. It works exactly like Dedede's up smash, hilariously enough. For the neutral air, the Ninjala Kid will equip a yo-yo and spin it multiple times around themselves. It deals multiple hits of damage until the final hit. For the forward air, the Ninjala Kid will equip the Ippon Katana, but this time it'll act a lot like Sora's forward air, having it be able to hit multiple times depending if you rapidly tap the attack button. For the back air, the Ninjala Kid will use the yo-yo again, swinging it from high to low. And finally, for the up and down air, the Ninjala Kid will swing their Ippon Katana up or down, depending on where they were facing. But where the Ninjala Kid brings the Ippon is with their special attacks. For the Ninjala Kids' neutral special, they'll spit out a piece of gum. Gross. Despite this sounding both disgusting and simple, there is quite a bit you can do with this special. For starters, once it's been shot out, it'll keep going until it hits a player. And when it does, it'll actually cause small multiple hits of damage, very much like Sheik's neutral special. However, the big takeaway with this special is that if it happens to hit an opponent who happened to be right in front of the Ninjala Kid, then that player will get trapped in the gum, acting as both a grab and a bury move. You can break out of this gum by rapidly mashing buttons as fast as you can, but chances are that the Ninjala Kid will go in for the Ippon, if you know what I'm saying. Now for the side special, the Ninjala Kid will spin so fast that it caused a tornado made out of gum to appear, surrounding the Ninjala Kid. This move is great for horizontal recovery, as you can move left and right while in the tornado. Not only that, but this also works like Ryu and Ken's side special, having to deal multiple hits of damage until the final hit. Unfortunately, it has a lot of end lag if you let the side special go on for about 4 seconds. You can't manually cancel out of this special, so you've got to commit with this special. Now for the down special, it'll be a counterattack.
Oh my goodness, just another Fire Emblem character, you just might as well make them a costume.
Okay, I know people hate counterattacks in Smash, but I actually like them. However, this will be a unique counterattack, because the opponent can actually interact with the counter. Just like in the original game, both players can actually interact with this by moving into a specific direction using the control stick. However, the opponent can actually send you flying if you're not too careful. The way this works is that you need to move to the opposite side that your opponent moved to, so that way you can give them the element surprise. If you both happen to move into the same direction, then the counterattack will restart. You can only do this for 3 times in a row. After that, then the counterattack will be cancelled out. And finally, for the up special, this will have the Ninjala Kid rise up into the air using gum. It's a controllable up special, meaning that you can move in any direction until you go into freefall, which takes about 4 seconds. Now, before I talk about the final Smash, there is something I need to address. You see, some of you people who play Ninjala may be screaming at your screens and saying I forgot an important element in the combat system. I'm aware. I just need to save it to the end because this will be a very, very important gimmick. At the damage display, there will be a meter that fills up the more times you hit opponents. This meter will actually be very important, because once it starts flashing, you need to press both the shield and special button at the exact same time. Once you do that, all of your melee weapons will expand in size, causing all of your neutral, smash, and aerial attacks to be greatly strengthened. Not only that, but it also increases the size of the hitbox, meaning that your attacks will reach farther. However, there is one big flaw with this gimmick. Once your melee weapons are expanded, you'll move a lot slower and you'll suffer more end lag every time you land an attack with the weapons. Not only that, but if you happen to get KO'd, the meter will reset, causing your weapons to shrink back to normal. You can refill the meter by attacking opponents, but it does take quite a bit of time. But now, for the final smash. The Ninjala Kids' final smash will be... Ultimate Ippon! This will be a cinematic final smash that starts with the Ninjala Kid expanding the size of the Ippon Katana. Once it's large enough, they'll swing it. Anyone who happens to get hit by it will be sent into a cinematic. The cinematic starts with all of the Ninjala Kids rushing down from the sky and rapidly hitting the opponents with all of their weapons. You then see your Ninjala Kid swing the Ippon Katana so hard that the announcer yells the iconic line, Ippon! Ending the cinematic. This final smash references the general concept of Ninjala's gameplay. The stage of choice is the WNA Academy. The stage will function just like the boxing ring stage from Punch-Out, having the main stage in the middle with 2 roads on opposite sides of the stage. In the background, there will be a big TV monitor that shows the current player winning the match. Given that Ninjala is a battle royale of sorts, the music is already upbeat enough to work as a fighting game, so I'll be going with quite a few songs from Ninjala.
Let's crank the heat up, speeding right through the race. We zoom in every time we skate. I'm aiming for first place. I'm hungry, ready to rumble. My competition's in trouble. They spinning, they seeing double. Let's enter the beat jungle, yeah. Beat jungle. Beat jungle. Beat jungle. Beat jungle. Deep underneath the streets, underneath the golden bridge. Can't hold it back, I can't fight it, no, I cannot resist it.
In total, 26 songs would be included, 14 of which would be remixed.
Ippon!
And that would be if the Ninjala Kids joined Super Smash Bros. Now, the big reason I did this moveset was because the game just celebrated its 3rd anniversary, and I felt the best way to show how much I like Ninjala is by giving the Ninjala Kids a Smash moveset. Realistically, I don't think that they'll actually join the roster, but I think it would be another cool addition if we did get them. Anyways, do you have a character you'd like to see be given a Smash moveset? If so, let me know in the comments down below. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe? That way you can get notified when I put out any Super Smash Bros. Moveset videos. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.